Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. We're coming to you from the Business Leaders for Michigan CEO Summit at Cobo Center in downtown Detroit. This annual event brings together top business and community executives to talk about improving Michigan's economy. My first guest is one of the leaders who's attending the summit. He's vice president at Wayne State University, which is celebrating its 150th year in the heart of Detroit. I'd like to welcome Patrick Lindsey to American Black Journal. Good to see you.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, so let's talk about Wayne State and its 150th anniversary. You know, I have to say this snuck up on me somehow, right? I don't think I realized we were that close, but certainly this is a critical institution in the city of Detroit, always been right there in the center of the city, but has seen a lot of change over that 150 years, not just to the university, but to the city itself.
Absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on. Wayne State University celebrating that 150 year sesquicentennial is a great word, by the way. Started out as Detroit Medical College. At the end of the Civil War, treating soldiers who were coming back from the fight. Has its roots in Detroit, still in Detroit, and over that 150 years has grown to be one of the nation's top urban public research schools, top 50 in the country, one of 3 Tier 1 research schools here in the state of Michigan.
Yeah. So what are the things that the university is looking at this 150th year, the ways that it's celebrating all of that time here in Detroit?
Well, we just ended a celebration Friday, a part of it being looking back and looking at all the things that have been achieved over those 150 years, but our president, Dr. M. Roy Wilson, not only wanted to look back, but also talked about looking forward. And so he, along with the university leadership and the faculty, have done a great job in improving graduation rates, initiating programs that enhance student success, looking at ways we can address health outcomes in the city of Detroit. Phenomenal things on the horizon for Wayne State in the coming 150 years.
Yeah, that diversity question is one that comes up a lot, and we've seen all of the major public institutions in the state struggle with that question. Wayne State gets more pressure, I think, because it's here in the city of Detroit, and it's seen as a gateway opportunity for so many people. Is that something that the university feels it has its hands firmly around, that question of access and opportunity, or are there still challenges that it needs to work on?
Well, Dr. Wilson says unequivocally, and he said it in his inaugural address and he said it again last week, he believes that Wayne State can be a school of opportunity and a school of excellence, that they're not mutually exclusive. And Wayne State has in its DNA keeping its doors open a little bit wider and allowing for those, particularly those who are economically challenged or maybe people of color who have been denied opportunity. Wayne State is a place where they can come and grow and thrive.
Yeah, the university's place in the city, it looks different to me now than it did when I was making my college choice back in the 1980s. That neighborhood, Midtown, has changed a lot. The university's relationship, I think, to that neighborhood has changed a lot. Talk about how geography sort of defines a lot of the things that are going on at Wayne State.
Well, one of the things you'll find is that we don't have a fence line.
Right.
And so many
of
our
buildings, unusual for an urban university. I'm not sure people in Detroit always understand that, but you go to a lot of other cities, the universities within them have fences around them, and that's to keep people out.
Well, we always like to say Detroit is our campus, and in so many ways that's true, not only simply from geography, but we have so many partnerships within the Midtown, downtown, and even across Detroit. But being in the heart of Detroit, investing in some of the buildings that we have, it's helped catalyze the growth that you see. When you see cities growing in the urban core, you usually see healthcare and higher education being right in the middle of it all. Wayne State has done that here in Detroit.
Yeah, you're here at the CEO Summit, Business Leaders for Michigan. Wayne State is also about to change the way that it deals with its business students. The Mike Ilitch School of Business is going up very quickly, it looks like, next to Little Caesars Arena. Talk about how that will change the experience for students who are studying business.
Wow, to be in a school in the center of the business district of an urban city like Detroit with growing opportunities. Couldn't get much better. Our students have direct access to CEOs and other leaders in business, as well as intern opportunities. But more importantly, the Illich family, through their gift, we also started within our School of Business a sports and hospitality management program where our students will now be able to deal directly with the 4 sports teams and some of the hospitality industry and get firsthand knowledge and be interacting on a regular basis with those businesses.
Yeah, and it's a good example of the growth I feel like the university is experiencing as well. I see cranes on campus every so often, and that's different. You're building dorms. I understand for the students, that's a real shift.
Yes.
For the university.
Yes, we know that as Detroit has become an attractive place for many, particularly for young people and students, the same thing. And we're busting at the seams. We have more demand now for housing than we have housing.
Then you have space.
The apartments that you see going up. Phase 1 has been completed, over 400 beds. Another 400 will come online next August. Hopefully we'll be doing some more building.
Yeah. What are some of you talk about the future, and President Wilson likes to talk about the future. What are some of the things that urban universities you think will face in the near future? I talk all the time to people about the ways in which the federal government, the state government are sort of pulling back on the support for higher ed that we've seen historically. Urban universities like Wayne, that it hurts more. It's a bigger crisis. What are some of the things you see in terms of having to meet those head on in the near future?
Well, you're right. Unfortunately, public urban schools, they have a different mission, and so you have people who usually are less traditional than many who go to 4-year schools that are not in urban cores. And so they're working, they have family issues, so it may take a little longer to get out of school. And yet they're graded by the same graduation rates as others. And so we typically suffer because of that in terms of how the scoring metrics go. But at the same time, Wayne State's committed to our mission, and Dr. Wilson says we're going to continue our mission under his leadership.
Do you feel as though the state is prepared to make the commitment it needs to institutions like Wayne to do the things that it needs to do?
Well, I can say that when I first came in, it was a 15% across the board cut in higher ed.
Right.
Governor Snyder from that time has begun reinvesting
building that back in.
Building it up, but we're still well below where things were in 2011. And if you adjust the dollars for inflation, the schools are still behind. As a state, we still need to invest more. In fact, BLM, during their summit, they've been calling for $100 million a year for the next 10 years just to catch back up to where Michigan ought to be.
All right, well, we'll stay after that. Congratulations again on 150 years. It's a really great milestone.
Thank you. And congratulations to you all on 50 years.
Yeah, that's right. Just a little fraction of the time you guys have been around, right? Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.